Welcome, dear listener. Tonight we gather in the soft embrace of darkness, where the gentle pull of sleep begins to meet the wonder of the cosmos. You've arrived at a place of rest, a sanctuary where stories unfold like petals opening to moonlight. As you settle into your space, wherever you are, however you've come to be here, allow your body to soften. Feel the weight of your shoulders releasing downward, the tension in your jaw melting away. Your breath is finding its own rhythm now, slow and steady, like waves rolling onto a distant shore. Tonight, we'll drift together through a story that unfolds far above us, in the velvet darkness between stars. It's the story of a visitor, something ancient and wandering, something that traveled through the cold silence of space for countless ages before arriving at our doorstep. They call it Three-Eye Atlas, and according to astronomer Avi Loeb, it may have decided to stay. You don't need to follow every word. You don't need to remember every detail. Simply let the story carry you like a leaf floating on a gentle stream. The words will wash over you, and beneath them, rest will find you naturally, effortlessly. Imagine, if you will, the night sky opening above you, stars scattered like diamond dust across infinite darkness. And somewhere among them, a traveler making its way toward the warmth of our sun, toward the quiet corners of our solar neighborhood, carrying with it secrets from the spaces between. Before we begin this journey together, if this moment brings you peace, if these words become a companion in your night, consider leaving a small light behind, a like, a subscription, a gentle marker that you were here. And in the comments below, share with us, from which corner of our beautiful planet are you listening? What time has found you in this moment of rest? We are all here together, beneath the same stars, seeking the same peace. Now let your eyes grow heavy if they wish. Let your breathing deepen. The story is beginning, and it will carry you safely through the night. In the beginning, there was only silence, the kind of silence that exists between stars, where no air carries sound, where darkness stretches for distances that would take light itself years to cross. In this silence, something moved. Picture it now, not with your waking mind, but with that softer vision that comes as sleep approaches. See the vast emptiness of space, not as a void, but as an ocean of possibility. And through this ocean, something drifts. Something small against the immensity, but ancient beyond measure. It has no name yet, not in any language spoken by humans. It is simply traveling, as it has traveled for so long that time loses meaning. Perhaps it has been journeying for millions of years, perhaps billions. In the cosmic dance of gravity and motion, such distinctions fade like morning mist. The object moves through space the way a feather falls through still air, slowly, gracefully, following invisible currents. It tumbles gently as it travels, turning end over end in the silence, catching faint starlight on surfaces that have never known the warmth of a nearby sun. Your breath is slowing now, matching the patient rhythm of cosmic time. There is no hurry here. Time moves differently in space, differently in this story, differently as you drift towards sleep. This traveler, this wanderer from beyond, came from a place we can barely imagine, somewhere in the vast spaces between star systems where even the nearest sun is a faint point of light, indistinguishable from countless others. A place where cold is not just cold, but a temperature approaching the very edge of absolute zero, where ice doesn't melt for billions of years, where nothing changes except the slow, patient movement through darkness. But something changed for our visitor. Gradually, imperceptibly at first, a particular star began to grow brighter in its long journey. Not much brighter, not for centuries, not for millennia. But slowly, steadily, one point of light began to stand out from all the others. Our sun, our warmth, our home. Feel yourself drifting now like this ancient traveler, moving through soft darkness. You are safe here. You are held by gravity, by the earth beneath you, by the gentle pull of rest that comes when you stop resisting. The visitor kept coming, day after day, year after year, century after century. The sun grew brighter ahead of it, still faint, still just a star among stars, but growing, always growing. And with that growing light came a growing warmth, though warmth is perhaps too strong a word. The object began to feel something other than the absolute cold of interstellar space. Radiation from our sun touched it, gentle as whispered breath. On Earth, beneath this same sun, humans lived their lives. Civilizations rose and fell, pyramids were built, languages were born and forgotten, ships crossed oceans, telescopes were invented, turned toward the sky. And still the visitor approached, unseen, unknown, patient as stone. Let your body sink deeper into rest. Feel the surface beneath you, supporting you completely. You don't need to hold yourself up. You can let go. In 2024, in the quiet hours when telescopes sweep the sky, seeking what might be approaching from the dark, something new appeared in the data. A moving point of light, faint but measurable. The Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, ATLAS for short, caught it in its patient net of observation. A new visitor. They gave it a designation, as astronomers do, 3I Atlas, the third interstellar object detected, discovered by the ATLAS system, a name both technical and poetic, marking it as something special, something from beyond. Professor Avi Loeb, working at Harvard, studying the mysteries that come from between the stars, noticed something unusual about this visitor. Something that made him pause, made him calculate, made him wonder. The trajectory was strange. The path it followed didn't quite match what was expected. Your thoughts are becoming softer now, less distinct, like clouds drifting across an evening sky. They pass without catching your attention. This is natural. This is right. Most objects that visit our solar system from interstellar space follow a particular kind of path. They come in fast, pulled by the sun's gravity, swing around in a graceful arc, and then speed back out into the darkness. They are tourists, visitors, passing through. They arrive with the velocity of interstellar space behind them, and they leave with that velocity added to whatever boost the sun's gravity provided. But 3I Atlas seemed different. Its velocity, the speed at which it moved, suggested something unusual. The calculations suggested something that shouldn't be possible, something that made Professor Loeb sit up and take notice, even in the world of cosmic oddities he inhabits. The numbers whispered a strange possibility. This visitor might not be leaving. This ancient traveler, this wanderer from the spaces between stars, might have arrived at a velocity that allows our sun's gravity to capture it, to hold it, to keep it circling in the warmth and light, never to return to the frozen darkness from which it came. Imagine that for a moment as you sink deeper into rest. Imagine wandering alone through endless darkness for longer than civilizations last, and finally, finding a place of warmth and light, finding a place to stay, finding perhaps a home. The story continues, gentle as starlight, soft as your breathing has become. Let yourself drift with it. There is nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to do, only rest and the quiet unfolding of wonder. In the gentle dark behind your eyelids, imagine now the dance of gravity. Not as something heavy or pulling, but as a kind of music. The planets move to this music, spinning their slow ballet around the sun. And now a new dancer has entered the stage, moving to rhythms learned in distant darkness. Gravity is, at its heart, a kind of embrace. Every object with mass reaches out to every other object, an invisible connection weaker than a whisper at great distances, but always present, always there. The sun, massive beyond easy comprehension, sends its gravitational embrace outward in all directions, growing weaker with distance, but never quite ending. Your breathing is so slow now, so easy. Each breath comes without effort, like the tide returning to shore. You don't need to think about it. Your body knows what to do. When an object approaches our solar system from interstellar space, it carries with it a particular velocity, a speed inherited from wherever it came from whatever system gave it birth and then sent it wandering. This velocity is measured against the still point of our sun, against the local neighborhood of our solar system. Picture a child throwing a ball. The ball leaves their hand with a certain speed. As it rises, gravity slows it, tugs at it, invites it back down. If the child throws softly, the ball rises a little and returns. If they throw hard, the ball rises high before returning. But if somehow the child could throw hard enough, impossibly hard, the ball would rise and never come back. It would escape the Earth's gravitational embrace entirely. There is a speed called escape velocity. It is the speed needed to break free from a gravitational field forever. For Earth, it's about 7 miles per second. For the Sun, measured from where Earth orbits, it's about 26 miles per second. These numbers are just whispers now, fading into the background of your consciousness. What matters is not the numbers, but the feeling, the sense of how much speed you need to be free. Let your mind drift with this. Let the concepts flow over you like water, cool and soothing. When an object comes from interstellar space, it usually arrives with more than escape velocity. It's already free, already escaped from whatever star system it once called home. And so when it visits us, pulled into a graceful arc by the sun's gravity, it speeds up on the way in and then speeds back up on the way out, and leaves with at least as much speed as it arrived with. It passes through, it leaves. But 3i Atlas appeared to be different. The calculations, the careful measurements of its path and speed suggested something remarkable. Its velocity relative to the local standard of rest, the average motion of stars in our neighborhood, appeared to be lower than the sun's escape velocity at its location. Think of it like this. Imagine a bird flying through the sky. Most birds that pass over your home are traveling fast enough that they'll fly past and disappear over the horizon. But occasionally, a bird might be flying just slowly enough at just the right angle that it could choose to land, to settle, to stay. Your consciousness is settling too, like a bird coming to rest. Thoughts becoming fewer, further between. This is the natural rhythm of sleep approaching. For 3i Atlas, if the measurements are correct, if the calculations hold true, then the sun's gravity should be strong enough to capture it permanently, to bend its path from a hyperbolic arc, the path of a visitor passing through, into an elliptical orbit, the path of something that belongs here, something that has become part of our solar family. Avi Loeb, who has spent his career studying such mysteries, found this fascinating. He has always been drawn to the strange visitors from interstellar space, objects like Oumuamua that first confirmed interstellar visitor, cigar-shaped and mysterious, objects like Borisov, the interstellar comet that followed, and now 3i Atlas, potentially the first interstellar visitor to decide to stay. The night deepens around you. Your body has grown heavy and comfortable. Every muscle has released its grip. You are held safely by the surface beneath you, by the earth itself, by gravity's gentle embrace. In Loeb's view, expressed in his writings and calculations, 3i Atlas represents something profound. Not just an astronomical curiosity, but a capture event, something predicted by theory, but rarely if ever observed. A permanent addition to our solar system's population, a new member of the family arriving from cosmic distances. The mathematics of orbital mechanics tell us this should be rare, but not impossible. In the vast reaches of space, objects occasionally pass close enough to stars at just the right velocity to be captured. It's a delicate dance, too fast, and the object swings around and escapes, too slow. Well, objects traveling through interstellar space are rarely too slow. But occasionally, just occasionally, the conditions are right. Imagine yourself now as this object, this wanderer. You have traveled so far, so long through such darkness, and now you feel warmth on your surface for the first time in epochs. You feel the gentle but insistent pull of the sun's gravity. And instead of resisting, instead of speeding back out to the cold dark, you yield. You allow yourself to be captured. You allow yourself to be kept. There is something deeply peaceful about this image, about arriving after a long journey and finally being able to rest. Your own journey into sleep mirrors this. The long day behind you, the busy thoughts and activities, all falling away now. And you yielding to rest, allowing it to capture you, to hold you safe through the night. The science continues its quiet song, but you don't need to follow every note. The important thing is the rhythm, the feeling, the sense of cosmic patterns playing out above us while we rest below. 3I Atlas orbits now, or will orbit if the capture is confirmed, somewhere in the outer reaches of our solar system. Not among the inner planets where Earth resides in relative warmth, but out in the colder reaches, perhaps among the asteroids, or even further out, where the sun is just a bright star and space is perpetually dark. Its orbit would be eccentric, elongated, taking it on a long, slow journey around the sun. Years to complete one circuit, perhaps decades, but always returning, always held, never again to wander the frozen spaces between stars. Your breathing has become so gentle now, barely a whisper. Sleep is very close. The story continues, but you don't need to follow it. It will carry you regardless, soft as starlight, patient as cosmic time. In the spaces between your thoughts, in the quiet moments between breaths, imagine the loneliness of interstellar space, not as a human would experience loneliness, but as a simple fact of existence. Darkness without end, cold without relief, motion without destination. 3I Atlas knew this existence, if knowing is the right word, for what a cosmic object experiences. It existed in this state for longer than human history, longer than human existence, longer than the existence of most species on Earth, just traveling, tumbling slowly, following the gravitational currents of the galaxy like a leaf on invisible winds. You are so deeply relaxed now. Your body has forgotten its edges, blending into the softness around you. This is the threshold of sleep, and you are welcome to cross it whenever you wish. The story will continue, a gentle companion in the dark. Where did it come from, this visitor? The question drifts through the analysis like a soft breeze. When astronomers trace back its trajectory, following the line of its motion backward through time, they can make estimates. Educated guesses about which direction it came from, which part of the galaxy it last passed through. But the galaxy rotates. Stars move. The neighborhood that 3I Atlas passed through 1 million years ago has changed completely. The stars it might have passed near then have moved to different locations now, following their own orbits around the galactic center. Tracing back to a specific origin becomes impossible after enough time has passed. It could have come from a system only a few light years away, relatively recently ejected, or it could have been wandering for hundreds of millions of years, originating from a star system now on the opposite side of the galaxy. There is no way to know for certain. The past is hidden in the complexity of stellar motion, in the vast timescales involved. Let your mind drift with this uncertainty. Not everything needs to be known, not everything can be known, and that's all right. Mystery is not something to be feared or resisted. Mystery is simply another name for the infinite wonder that surrounds us. Avi Loeb has spent much of his career pondering such mysteries. He is known in astronomical circles as someone willing to consider unusual possibilities, to think beyond the conventional boundaries that sometimes constrain scientific imagination. He asks questions others might shy away from. He proposes explanations that push at the edges of what we consider possible. Your thoughts are like distant stars now, faint points in a darkening sky, becoming harder to distinguish, harder to focus on. This is natural. This is the way to rest. When Oumuamua passed through our solar system in 2017, Loeb suggested something that made many of his colleagues uncomfortable. He proposed that its strange properties, its elongated shape, its unusual acceleration, might indicate technological origin. An artifact from another civilization, tumbling through space, discovered by chance as it passed through our neighborhood. The suggestion was controversial. Many astronomers preferred explanations that didn't require invoking alien technology. Natural processes, they argued, could explain the observations. A weird-shaped asteroid or comet, nothing more. But Loeb stood by his analysis, pointing out that science should not rule out possibilities simply because they seem unlikely or make us uncomfortable. Now, with 3i Atlas, Loeb is making a different kind of claim. Not about alien technology this time, but about celestial mechanics, about the possibility of capture. And yet there is something similar in his approach, a willingness to see significance in what others might overlook. A willingness to say, this is strange, this is unusual, this is worth our attention. Feel the weight of sleep pressing down on you now, gentle as a blanket, warm as morning sun on your face. You can surrender to it any time. The story doesn't mind, the story will cradle you through the night. The capture of 3i Atlas, if confirmed, would be significant for several reasons. First, it would represent direct observational evidence of a process that is theoretically predicted, but rarely, if ever, seen. Captures happen, the mathematics tells us, but catching one in the act is another matter entirely. Second, it would give us a permanent object to study, not just a fleeting visitor passing through. We could send probes eventually, perhaps. We could study its composition in detail over years and decades. We could learn what interstellar objects are made of, how they differ from objects born in our solar system, what secrets they carry about the formation of planetary systems around other stars. Third, it would raise questions about how many other captured objects might be lurking undetected in the outer solar system. If 3i Atlas could be captured, then surely others have been captured over the billions of years of the solar system's existence. They might be hiding in distant orbits, mistaken for ordinary asteroids or comets, their interstellar origin unknown because we haven't studied them closely enough. The outer solar system is a vast wilderness, much of it unmapped, unexamined. Objects can hide in that darkness for millennia. The discovery of 3i Atlas might be just the beginning of recognizing a whole population of interstellar immigrants that have made their home with us. Your consciousness is fading now like the last light of sunset. Colors washing out, details becoming soft and unclear. And that's perfectly all right. That's exactly as it should be. Rest is waiting for you just beyond the edge of awareness, patient and kind. Imagine you are floating now, weightless, like an object in space but warm and safe. No cold here, no lonely darkness, just gentle support, holding you up without effort on your part. You can let go completely. You can trust the universe to hold you while you rest. The story of 3i Atlas is still unfolding. More observations will be made, more calculations will be performed. The orbit will be refined as more data comes in, and the question of whether it's truly captured will become clearer. But for now, tonight, in this quiet moment, we can simply wonder. We can let the possibility wash over us like a gentle wave. Something ancient has come home, something that wandered alone has found warmth and light. Something that traveled distances beyond imagining has arrived at a place where it can rest. There is a poetry in this, a gentle rightness that transcends the technical details of orbital mechanics and escape velocities, and you too have arrived at a place of rest. This moment, this breath, this soft slide into sleep. Welcome home. Welcome to this peaceful dark. Welcome to dreams, to restoration, to the quiet magic that happens when we finally let go. The chapters continue, but they grow softer, quieter, more like whispered lullabies than stories. You don't need to hold on to the words anymore. Let them wash over you. Let them be the gentle sound of a universe that is vast and mysterious, and ultimately kind. Somewhere in the outer reaches of our solar system, beyond the orbit of Neptune, beyond the regions where sunlight falls warm on planetary surfaces, there is a realm of twilight. Not quite the absolute darkness of interstellar space, but not the warmth and light of the inner system either. A realm of in-between. Your sleep is like this now, an in-between place. Not quite fully awake, not quite deeply asleep. Drifting in the gentle twilight of consciousness, where dreams begin to whisper at the edges of thought. This is a peaceful place. You can stay here as long as you like, or drift deeper whenever you wish. It is in this twilight realm of our solar system that 3i Atlas now finds itself, if Avi Loeb's analysis is correct. Orbiting in the cold and dark, but held by the sun's gravity, warmed infinitesimally by its distant light. A permanent resident now of this in-between place. But there is a mystery here, gentle as moonlight, nothing to startle or wake you. Simply something to wonder about as you drift. The mystery is this: why? Why would an interstellar object arrive at exactly the right velocity to be captured? What circumstances would lead to this rare cosmic coincidence? Let your breathing carry you deeper as we explore this soft question together. Each breath in, each breath out, a tide of relaxation washing through you. In the vast majority of cases, interstellar objects travel faster than escape velocity relative to the stars they pass. They are, after all, objects that have escaped from their home systems, objects that are free, wandering the galaxy. Such freedom usually requires speed. For 3i Atlas to be captured, it would have had to approach our solar system at a relatively slow velocity for an interstellar traveler. Not slow in absolute terms, everything in space moves at speeds that would seem incredible to us here on Earth, but slow relative to the typical velocities of interstellar wanderers. How might this happen? The possibilities drift through the analysis like clouds across a night sky. Perhaps 3i Atlas originated relatively nearby in astronomical terms, a star system only a few light-years away from which it was ejected at modest velocity. If it didn't have far to travel, it wouldn't have built up the immense speeds that objects ejected from distant systems might achieve. Or perhaps it was slowed by some process during its journey. Interactions with other objects, perhaps? Passing through regions of denser gas or dust, experiencing drag over millions of years. Though space is mostly empty, it is not perfectly empty, and over long enough timescales, even tenuous resistance can have effects. Your mind barely follows these words now. They are becoming like the sound of distant rain, soothing but indistinct. That's perfect. That's exactly right. Or perhaps, and this is where the mystery deepens just a touch, perhaps 3i Atlas was not naturally ejected from its home system at all. Perhaps it was sent. Perhaps some process other than the random violence of gravitational interactions gave it its initial push into interstellar space. Loeb, in his writings, has explored this possibility for other interstellar objects. He has suggested that some might be artifacts, objects created and launched by technological civilizations. And while he has not specifically claimed this for 3i Atlas, the question hangs in the air, unspoken but present. Could this be why its velocity is so unusual? Because it was designed to have this velocity, designed to be captured by whatever star system it encountered. The idea is not meant to startle or excite. It is simply another gentle mystery, another soft question to ponder as you drift toward deeper sleep. The universe is full of such questions, and they are all part of the wonder that surrounds us. Imagine in your drowsy mind what it would mean to send an object to another star on purpose, to launch something into the dark, knowing it would travel for millions of years before arriving anywhere. What patience that would require. What long vision, what hope that somewhere, sometime, the object might find a home. Your own consciousness is traveling now, drifting away from the waking world, journeying toward the realm of dreams. It is its own kind of interstellar voyage, leaving behind the familiar territory of daily awareness and venturing into the strange landscapes of sleep. You are safe on this journey. You are held by processes older and deeper than conscious thought. Whether 3i Atlas is a natural object or something stranger, whether its capture is coincidence or something else, may never be fully known. The distances involved, the timescales, the impossibility of direct observation of its origins, all of these conspire to keep the mystery intact. And that's all right. Mystery is not a problem to be solved so much as a space to inhabit, a place where wonder can grow. The outer solar system holds many such mysteries, objects whose orbits are strange, whose origins are unclear, whose composition surprise us. Each one is a puzzle piece in a puzzle so vast we don't even know its edges. And 3i Atlas is now another such piece, fitting into the picture in ways we don't yet fully understand. Let yourself fit into this moment the way 3i Atlas fits into its new orbit. Perfectly, naturally, without force or struggle. You belong here, in this state of deep relaxation, at this boundary between wake and sleep. You are exactly where you should be. The analysis continues, quiet calculations in quiet observatories, telescopes tracking the new visitor across the sky. But those calculations can happen without you. The universe will continue its patient work while you rest, while you surrender to the soft dark that waits to hold you through the night. In the deepest reaches of space, there is a rhythm. Not sound, there can be no sound where there is no air to carry it, but a rhythm nonetheless. The rhythm of orbital motion, of objects circling other objects held in gravitational embrace, following paths that repeat endlessly, predictably, like the beating of an infinite heart. Your own heart beats this rhythm too, slower now than when you were awake and active, slower and steadier, a peaceful pulse that requires no thought from you. Your body knows this rhythm, has known it since before you were born, will know it until the end. It is the rhythm of life itself, tidal and patient. 3i Atlas follows a rhythm now too, if it has indeed been captured, an orbital rhythm tracing its elliptical path around the sun, out to the cold dark reaches, then back in toward warmth, then out again. A year for 3i Atlas might be measured in decades or centuries, depending on the exact parameters of its orbit. But it is a rhythm nonetheless, a predictable pattern in the cosmic dance. Let yourself feel these rhythms as you rest, the breath moving in and out of your lungs, the blood pulsing through your veins, the gentle rock of your body as it settles deeper into rest. All rhythms, all connected to the larger rhythms of the cosmos, though we rarely stop to notice. The earth beneath you, even if you can't feel it, is spinning. One rotation every 24 hours, the source of day and night, of sunset and dawn. This rotation is itself a rhythm, so familiar we forget it's even happening. We are all spinning through space, held to the surface by gravity's gentle grip, and we don't even notice. And the Earth is also orbiting around the Sun once per year, tracing its own elliptical path through space. We call the markers of this orbit seasons, spring giving way to summer, autumn to winter, then back to spring again. An endless cycle, a rhythm playing out on a scale of months rather than hours. Your sleep cycles are rhythms too, the gentle descent from light, sleep to deep sleep and back again, cycling through the night. REM sleep and non-REM sleep, alternating like tides. Dreams coming in waves, then receding. Your brain knows this rhythm, orchestrates it without your conscious involvement. You can trust it completely. All these rhythms are connected in ways both obvious and subtle. The day-night cycle affects when we sleep. The seasonal cycle affects light and temperature, which in turn affect our moods and energy. The lunar cycle, the moon orbiting Earth, creates tides in the oceans and subtle tides in our own bodies, which are mostly water after all. And somewhere in the pattern, the captured interstellar visitor adds its own note to the symphony. One more object held by the sun's gravity, one more ellipse traced through space, one more rhythm added to the countless others. There is something deeply peaceful about this, about being part of patterns so much larger than ourselves. We don't need to understand them fully. We don't need to track them or predict them. We simply exist within them, held and moved by forces beyond our control, and that's all right. That's more than all right. That's beautiful. Your breathing has synchronized with some deeper rhythm now, not consciously but naturally. The way sleepers in the same room sometimes synchronize their breathing without knowing it. The way people walking together fall into step without trying. The universe is full of such synchronization, such harmonies. In the Kuiper Belt, where 3I Atlas now resides if the capture is real, countless objects follow their own rhythms. Pluto, demoted from planetary status but no less majestic for it, traces its 248-year orbit. The dwarf planet Eris, further out, takes 557 years to complete one circuit. And beyond even these, in the hypothetical Oort cloud, objects might have orbital periods measured in millions of years. These are the slow rhythms of the cosmos, the deep patterns that unfold on timescales we can barely comprehend. And yet, they are still rhythms, still predictable, still part of the same gravitational music that keeps the moon circling Earth and Earth circling the sun. Feel yourself held by these rhythms now, not just metaphorically, but literally. The gravity of the Earth holding you to its surface, the rotation of the Earth carrying you through space, the orbit of the Earth carrying you around the sun, and the sun itself orbiting the center of the galaxy, carrying our entire solar system, including you, including 3I Atlas, on a journey that takes 225 million years to complete. You are on a cosmic journey even as you lie still. You are moving through space at incredible speeds even as you rest. And this is perfectly safe, perfectly natural. You have been on this journey your entire life, as has everyone who has ever lived. We are all space travelers together. The capture of an interstellar object is, in a sense, the addition of a new traveler to our shared journey. Something from outside has joined the voyage, has become part of our solar family, held by the same central force that holds us all. There is something welcoming in this thought, something hospitable. The solar system opening its arms to a wanderer and saying, "Stay, rest. You are home now." And you are home too in this moment. Home in your body, which is the only home you will ever truly have. Home in this place wherever you are. Home in this state of rest, which is where your body and mind recharge and heal and prepare for another day. Let the rhythms carry you now. Let them take you deeper into sleep, into dreams, into the restorative darkness that we all need. The universe will continue its dance. The objects will continue their orbits. The rhythms will continue their patient patterns. And you can simply rest, held safe by forces older than conscious thought, deeper than any worry or concern. The story continues, but so softly now, so gently, like the whisper of waves on a distant shore. You don't need to follow it anymore. It will be here if you wake, but more likely it will simply accompany your sleep, a gentle presence in the background, asking nothing, offering only peace. Imagine, if you can still imagine anything at this stage of deep rest, the absolute vastness of space, Not the threatening emptiness of science fiction, but the peaceful vastness of reality. A darkness so complete it becomes soothing, a silence so profound it becomes a kind of music. Your body has released all tension now, all holding. You are completely supported by whatever surface you rest upon, held by the planet beneath you, cradled by gravity itself. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to remember. Just this moment, this breath, this slow drift into deeper and deeper peace. Space is not empty, despite what we sometimes think. It is full of light, streaming in all directions from billions of stars, full of dust, the debris of ancient stellar explosions, scattered thin but present, full of hydrogen, the simplest and most common element existing in vast clouds between the stars, full of radiation, particles, magnetic fields, full of dark matter, whatever that might be, surrounding and permeating everything, and full of objects, asteroids, comets, planets, moons, dwarf planets. And now we realize, full of interstellar visitors too, objects that originated elsewhere, journeying through the dark, some passing through, others, like 3I Atlas, perhaps staying. The discovery of interstellar objects has changed how we think about the solar system. We used to imagine it as a closed system, a family of objects born together, traveling together, bound by common origin and shared gravity. But now we know it's more porous than that. Objects can come from outside, objects can leave, ejected by gravitational interactions with the giant planets. The solar system is not isolated, but part of a larger ecology, a galactic ecosystem of exchange. Your mind barely processes these words anymore. They are just sounds, just rhythm, just a gentle flow of syllables washing over you like water. That's exactly as it should be. You don't need to understand. You don't need to remember. You can simply let the words be what they are, a companion in the dark, nothing more. Every star system, we now believe, produces interstellar objects. Gravitational interactions during the chaotic early period of planet formation eject countless small objects into interstellar space. These objects wander the galaxy, occasionally passing through other star systems, very rarely being captured. Our own solar system has surely contributed its share to this population. Objects born here, in the disk of dust and gas that surrounded the infant sun, were flung outward by Jupiter or Saturn or gravitational resonances we don't fully understand. They left home billions of years ago and are now wandering far away, perhaps passing through some distant star's neighborhood, perhaps causing some alien astronomer to wonder at their origin. It's a kind of cosmic exchange program. Star systems trading objects, though not deliberately, not with any intent, simply as a natural consequence of the physics of gravity and motion. Some systems give, some receive, most do both, over billions of years. The thought has a strange poetry to it. We are connected to distant stars not just by light and gravity, but by these wandering objects. Messengers, in a sense, though they carry no information we can easily read. They carry no message, no intent, just themselves. Ancient rock and ice, tumbling through the void. Your sleep deepens now like water finding its level, settling naturally into the lowest, most peaceful place. There is no resistance left in you, no holding on, just complete surrender to the rest that your body needs, that your mind needs, that your spirit needs. 3I Atlas, in its new orbit, if the orbit is real, if the capture has truly occurred, joins a population of objects that have been here far longer. The asteroids of the main belt orbiting between Mars and Jupiter. The Trojans sharing Jupiter's orbit. The Centaurs wandering between the orbits of the giant planets. The Kuiper Belt objects circling in the cold dark beyond Neptune. Each of these populations has its own story. The main belt asteroids are remnants of planet formation, pieces that never quite came together to form a world. The Trojans were captured early in solar system history, held in stable gravitational harbors. The Centaurs may be Kuiper Belt objects that were scattered inward. The Kuiper Belt itself is a preserved sample of the early solar system, a deep freeze where the original building blocks remain largely unchanged. And now, potentially, a new category, captured interstellar objects, visitors who stayed, immigrants from distant shores. The word immigrant carries weight, carries meaning beyond astronomy. It speaks to journeys, to leaving home, to finding new homes. It speaks to the courage, if objects can have courage, of traveling into the unknown. It speaks to the generosity, if space can be generous, of welcoming the stranger. But these are human concepts, human feelings projected onto unfeeling rock and ice. And yet, in the depth of rest where you float now, such distinctions don't matter. Everything is connected, the personal and the cosmic, the emotional and the physical, the small and the vast, all part of one continuous fabric of existence. Your dreams, if they come, may carry traces of this story. Images of falling through darkness, of being caught and held. Images of wandering and arriving, images of the spaces between things and the things themselves. Dreams don't need to make sense. They follow their own logic, their own rhythms. Let them come as they will. The night sky above us, above all of us wherever we are on this spinning planet, is a map of the past. The light from stars takes years to reach us, sometimes centuries, sometimes millennia. When you look at the stars, you see them not as they are, but as they were. You are looking back in time with every glance upward. Three-Eye Atlas traveled through that past, through the light of stars that we see now but existed then. It crossed the paths of ancient photons, moving through light years of space while the light itself was still traveling toward Earth. And now, both have arrived, the light to our telescopes, the object to our solar system, timing synchronized by chance across vast distances and times. There is no need to comprehend this, no need to hold it in your mind. Just let it wash over you, another wave in the ocean of rest that holds you now. Wave after wave, each one taking you deeper, further from the shores of waking consciousness, out into the peaceful dark of true sleep. In observatories around the world, telescopes continue their patient work, tracking objects across the sky, recording positions, measuring brightnesses, calculating orbits. The work continues whether we pay attention or not. The universe reveals itself in increments, in tiny pieces of data that accumulate over nights and weeks and years into understanding. The astronomers themselves, Avi Loeb and countless others, pursue their work with dedication born of wonder. They are drawn to the mysteries, to the questions, to the edges of what is known. They spend nights awake so that we can learn, and then they rest, as you rest now, as all humans must rest. Science is a human endeavor carried out by people with bodies that need sleep and minds that need dreams. It is not a cold, mechanical process, but a deeply human one, motivated by curiosity and wonder, sustained by coffee and determination and love of discovery. And what they discover becomes part of our shared story, part of the story we tell ourselves about where we are and what surrounds us. Three-Eye Atlas is now part of that story, a new chapter in the ongoing tale of our solar system, our place in the galaxy, our understanding of the cosmos. You don't need to stay awake for this story. The story will still be here tomorrow. Tomorrow you can wake and remember what you wish, forget what you need to forget, and the universe will still be there, vast and mysterious and full of wonders waiting to be discovered. For now, there is only rest. Only the slow drift of consciousness ebbing away like tide leaving shore. Only the gentle dark and the peace it brings. Only sleep, which is the most natural thing in the world, the thing your body has been moving toward all evening, finally achieved now, finally complete. The chapters continue, but you are beyond them now. Beyond words, beyond story, beyond everything except the deep restoration that comes in true sleep. Welcome to this place. Welcome to this peace. You have earned it, and you are safe here, and nothing requires your attention anymore. There is a visitor in the outer dark. You remember this from earlier, but the repetition is soothing, not boring. Like waves returning to shore, like breath returning to lungs, the story circles back to its beginning, each time softening further, each time releasing more. The visitor came from far away, distances measured not in miles or kilometers, but in light years. The distance light travels in a year, which is so vast that numbers cease to have meaning. The visitor traveled through this vastness alone, patient as stone, cold as the absolute zero of deep space. You are so deeply asleep now that these words barely register. They are more vibration than meaning, more rhythm than content. And that's perfect. That's exactly what's needed now. Just presence, just companionship in the dark, just sound in the silence. Something changed for the visitor as it approached. The cold became less absolute, the darkness less complete. A particular star grew brighter day by day, year by year, century by century. Our sun, our warmth, drawing the visitor closer through simple gravity. The gentlest of forces, acting over the greatest of distances. And now, according to Avi Loeb's analysis, according to the calculations and observations, the visitor may have arrived at such a velocity that it can be held, captured, made part of our solar family, a wanderer finding home. There is something deeply right about this, some satisfaction that transcends scientific interest. The idea of finding home after long wandering touches something in the human heart, something universal and ancient. We are, after all, a species that has wandered, that has migrated across continents, crossed oceans, ventured even into space. The urge to explore and then to find home is written deep in our nature. Your breathing is so slow now, so shallow, the breath of deep sleep, the breath of a body at rest, healing and restoring itself in the darkness. Nothing is required of you, nothing is asked. Just this continued gentle existence, this floating in peaceful nothing. The visitor 3I Atlas carries no life as far as we know. It is rock and ice, simple materials, probably similar in composition to the comets and asteroids born in our own solar system, but it has traveled. It has seen, if seeing is the right word, parts of the galaxy we have never seen. It has passed through regions of space that our sun has never illuminated. It carries, in a sense, the experience of elsewhere. When we look at it through telescopes, when we analyze the light reflected from its surface, we are seeing something that originated beyond, something shaped by different conditions, aged under different stars, moved by different gravitational fields. It is genuinely alien, genuinely other, even if it is made of the same fundamental materials as everything else. This is the paradox at the heart of astronomy. Everything is made of the same stuff, the same atoms, the same elements, forged in the hearts of stars and scattered by their deaths. And yet everything is also unique, shaped by particular histories, particular journeys, sameness and difference coexisting. You float in similar paradox. Deeply asleep, yet somehow still present. Unconscious, yet the story continues to reach you on some level. Absent, yet here. This is the mystery of sleep, which is no less profound than the mysteries of space. We spend a third of our lives sleeping, and yet we barely understand what sleep is or why we need it. We simply know that we do, that we must. That without it, we cannot function. 3I Atlas circles now in its orbit, if the orbit is real. Out in the cold dark, then closer to warmth, then out again. A rhythm established, a pattern set, a new normal found. The visitor has become a resident. The stranger has become familiar. The journey has ended in arrival, but arrival is never truly an ending, is it? It is simply a new beginning, a new chapter in an ongoing story. 3I Atlas will continue to orbit, continue to exist, continue to be studied and wondered about. Its story is far from over. In some ways, it is just beginning. Your story too continues even in sleep. Your cells continue their work. Your heart continues its beating. Your dreams continue their strange narratives. Sleep is not an ending but a different kind of living, a necessary pause in the waking narrative, a space for restoration and processing and growth. The science of orbital mechanics tells us that captured orbits are stable, generally. Once an object is captured, it tends to stay captured unless something perturbs it. A close encounter with another object, a gravitational nudge from a passing star. Something unusual, but in the normal course of events, orbits persist. They continue, they endure. You will endure too through this night and into tomorrow. You will wake refreshed, restored by this deep rest. The sleep you are experiencing now is rebuilding you, healing you, preparing you for whatever comes next. It is not empty time, but full time, rich with processes we barely understand but deeply need. The outer solar system is a quiet place. Events happen slowly. Orbits are long, collisions are rare. Objects persist for billions of years without significant change. It is a place of stability, of patience, of slow time. Your sleep is its own kind of outer solar system, a place removed from the busy inner world of waking life, a place where time moves differently, where things happen slowly, where you can exist without urgency or demand, a necessary place, a healing place, a place you return to every night, as reliable as orbits, as necessary as gravity. The visitor rests now in its new orbit, and you rest now in your sleep, both captured by gentle forces, both held safe, both exactly where you need to be. The story circles back to its beginning once more, but you are beyond the story now, beyond words, beyond awareness, deep in the restorative dark that all living things require. And here you can stay for as long as sleep holds you, for as long as your body needs, safe, peaceful, home. In the vast emptiness between stars, time moves differently, not faster or slower exactly, just differently. The words come now with long pauses between them, like stars in the night sky, separated by darkness, each word a point of light in the surrounding quiet. And the quiet is not empty, but full of peace, full of rest, full of the deep nothing that is actually everything. Your consciousness, if it can still be called that, is barely present now, like the faintest star at the edge of vision. There but not there, existing but barely. And this is perfect. This is exactly the state needed for the deepest, most restorative sleep. Space is mostly nothing, mostly empty. Between the stars, between the planets, between all the solid things we think of as real, there is vastness, emptiness, and yet not empty, never truly empty, always something there. Radiation, particles, potential. Your mind is like this now, mostly empty. Thoughts occasionally drifting through like dust particles catching sunlight, but mostly just open space, peaceful void, resting in emptiness. The visitor traveled through this emptiness for so long, time almost meaningless, nothing changing day after day, year after year, millennium after millennium, just traveling, just being, just existing in the cold and the dark. And there is a kind of peace in that, in the nothing changing, in the absence of events, in the simple continuation of being, without drama, without crisis, without anything happening at all. Your sleep is like this, nothing happening, no events, no drama, just being, just continuing, just existing in the most fundamental way possible, alive but not actively living, present but not aware, here but also somewhere else, somewhere beyond. The orbit of 3i Atlas, assuming it exists, is a kind of meditation, a repeated pattern in space, out and back, forever, or until something changes, but for now just the pattern, just the rhythm, just the eternal return. You have your own rhythms, breath in and out, heart heart beating steadily, blood flowing through vessels, all continuing without thought, without awareness, without needing you to pay attention at all. This is the gift of autonomic processes. They continue while you rest, while you are not there to supervise, while consciousness has ebbed away to nearly nothing. Your body knows what to do, has always known, will always know. You can trust it completely. In the outer solar system where 3i Atlas now resides, the sun is just a bright star, not the overwhelming presence it is for us here on Earth, not the source of warmth and light that makes life possible, just a star brighter than others, but still just a point of light in the dark. And yet its gravity reaches even there, invisible, unfelt, but present, holding, keeping, making orbit possible, making capture possible, making the difference between passing through and staying forever. You are held too, by the earth beneath you, by gravity so constant you never notice it, by the structure of your bed or couch or wherever you rest, by the very atoms of your body holding together, kept unstable by forces that exist at scales too small to imagine. Everything holds together, everything is held, nothing is truly separate or alone. We exist in fields of force, in networks of connection, in webs of relationship that extend from the quantum to the cosmic. And these connections support us, hold us, keep us safe. The darkness of space is not threatening, not when you're inside it, part of it. It's just the natural state, the background, the canvas on which everything else appears. And the darkness of sleep is the same, not threatening, not empty, just the natural state, the place you return to, the place you need to return to. 3i Atlas is home now. After however long, however far, it has found a place to be, a place to stay. And maybe it will be discovered later by future probes or missions. Maybe humans will someday visit it, study it, touch something that came from beyond. Or maybe it will just continue orbiting, existing, unvisited, unknown except as data points, telescope observations, numbers in a catalogue. That's okay too. Not everything needs to be explored. Some things can just be. You are just being right now, not doing, not accomplishing, not progressing toward anything, just existing in the most fundamental way. And this is enough. This is everything. This is what you need. The story, such as it is, continues, but barely. Just presence now, just companionship, just sound in silence. You don't need to listen, don't need to follow, don't need to be anywhere but here, in this deep place, this peaceful place, this place beyond words and meaning and thought. Rest here for as long as you need, as long as you want, as long as sleep holds you, safe in the dark, safe in the nothing that is everything, safe home. The universe breathes, not literally of course, but there is a rhythm to it, an expansion and contraction, stars being born, stars dying, matter coalescing, matter dispersing, energy concentrating, energy dissipating, all in cycles, vast and slow, but cycles nonetheless. You breathe too, so slowly now, so gently, each breath a small cycle, in, out, like the universe, like everything breathing with you. Day becomes night, night becomes day. This has happened billions of times since Earth formed, will happen billions more times before the sun finally dies. A cycle so reliable we build our lives around it. Wake with the sun, sleep with the darkness, though not everyone does this anymore. Artificial light has changed things, but the cycle remains underneath. In our biology, in our circadian rhythms, the ancient pattern of light and dark still written in our cells. 3i Atlas has its own cycle now. Its orbit, however long it takes, is a cycle. A pattern that repeats, out into the dark, back toward the light, out into the dark again, forever, or until something changes. But change in the outer solar system is rare. Slow, seasons cycle, spring, summer, autumn, winter. Then spring again. The tilt of Earth's axis combined with its orbit creates this rhythm, this pattern, this turning of the year that we experience as weather changing, as leaves falling, as flowers blooming. Where you are, the season is something, but it doesn't matter what season. They all have their beauty. They all have their place in the cycle. They all return in their time. The moon cycles, new, crescent, half, full, half again, crescent, new. 29 days over and over, creating tides in the ocean, subtle tides in our bodies. The moon has witnessed everything that ever happened on Earth. Silent companion, patient witness, cycling through its phases, unchanging, yet always changing. Your sleep cycles too, through stages. Light sleep, deep sleep, REM sleep, then back, then through again. The brain orchestrating this, moving you through what you need. Dreams coming in the REM phases, deep rest in the slow wave sleep, all necessary, all part of the pattern. Nothing lasts forever, but patterns do. Individual waves crash and disappear. But waves as a phenomenon continue. Individual heartbeats pass. But the heartbeat, the rhythm, continues. Individual breaths come and go, but breathing persists. You are both the individual moment and the ongoing pattern. This particular sleep, this particular night, is unique. Will never happen exactly this way again. But sleep itself, the pattern, will continue. Tomorrow night, the night after, for all your nights until there are no more nights. 3D Atlas is both unique and part of a pattern, the only captured interstellar object we've identified, but likely one of many, part of a population, part of a process that has been happening since solar systems formed. Individual but not alone, unique but not separate. Water cycles, from ocean to cloud to rain to river back to ocean, the same water molecules that dinosaurs drank, that filled ancient seas, that will fill seas long after humans are gone, cycling, persisting, continuing. The atoms in your body have cycled too, were once part of stars, part of planets, part of other living things. You are made of stardust, literally. The calcium in your bones forged in stellar explosions, the iron in your blood created in dying stars. You are the universe looking at itself, and when you die, those atoms will cycle onward. Becoming part of other things, other lives, other forms, nothing is lost. Only transformed, only continuing in different patterns. This is not meant to be sad or morbid, just the truth of cycles, of patterns that transcend individual forms. You are part of something much larger, much older, much more enduring than any single life. Sleep is its own kind of small death, a letting go of consciousness, a surrender to unknown processes. And yet you wake again, the cycle completes, death and rebirth every morning. A practice for the larger pattern. But you are so far from waking now, so deep in the sleep, so surrendered to the dark. This is good. This is right. This is what the body needs, what the mind needs, what the soul needs, if souls exist. If they don't, then what the atoms need, what the patterns need, what the cycles need. Rest in the turning, rest in the cycling. Rest in the eternal return. Everything comes back, everything continues. You are held by patterns older than time, safer than safety, more certain than certainty. The universe breathes, and you breathe with it, slowly, gently, peacefully, in the dark that is not dark but full of quiet light, in the silence that is not silent but full of ancient music, in the nothing that is everything. Rest, cycle, continue. Imagine, or don't imagine, nothing is required, but if something arises in the deep, let it be vastness, space stretching in all directions, no edges, no boundaries, just continuing forever. You float in this vastness, not your body. Your body is safe in bed, but some part of you, some awareness too small to matter, too diffuse to locate, just present. in the infinite. Stars are so far apart. Even the nearest is 4 light years away. 4 years traveling at the speed of light to reach it, and that's the closest. Most are hundreds, thousands, millions of light years distant. Between them, mostly nothing, mostly space. Mostly the peaceful emptiness that holds everything together. The background, the canvas, the stage on which existence performs. 3i Atlas knows this emptiness, lived in it for longer than we can comprehend, and now, even in its orbit, it's still mostly alone. Mostly surrounded by nothing, the occasional distant encounter with another object, but mostly just space, just emptiness, just peace. There is no rush in space, no urgency. Things happen but slowly. Orbits take years or centuries. Collisions are separated by millions of years. Stars are born over millions of years, die over billions. Time stretches out, becomes thin, becomes meaningless. You have all the time you need here, now, in this sleep. No alarm can reach you, no obligation can find you. You are beyond it all, in a place outside time, where minutes and hours are the same, where nothing is measured, nothing is hurried. The ocean is like this too, deep ocean, where light doesn't reach, where pressure is immense, where cold is absolute, a kind of inner space as vast and alien as outer space. Creatures live there in the deep, adapted to conditions we cannot survive, moving slowly, existing in near darkness, finding food where no plants grow, making their own light, bioluminescence, to see, to signal, to exist. You don't need light, not now. The darkness is complete and comfortable. Your eyes don't matter. Closed or open makes no difference. In this deep, no light penetrates, and that's perfect. The deepest sleep happens here, in the darkest hours, when the world is most quiet, when even the unconscious mind stops generating dreams. Just existing, just being. The closest to not existing while still alive. Scientists study sleep but don't fully understand it. Why we need it. What it does at the deepest level. Theories exist. Cleaning waste from the brain. Consolidating memories. Restoring energy. All true, probably. But the mystery remains. The need is absolute. The mechanism still partly unknown. 3i Atlas doesn't sleep, doesn't need to. Rock and ice don't tire, don't need restoration. Just continue, just persist, just exist without effort, without need. And yet there's something sleep-like in its long journey, in the billions of years of slow travel, in the unchanging cold and dark, a kind of suspended animation, a kind of cosmic rest. Not sleep, but something analogous. Stars sleep in a sense. Between the violent fusion reactions in their cores and the violent deaths that some experience, there are long periods of relative calm, stable burning, steady shining, billions of years of just being what they are, a kind of stellar rest, a kind of cosmic contentment. You are content now, not with anything in particular, just content. The basic contentment of needs met, of body resting, of mind quiet, of existence continuing without problems, without pain, without anything wrong. This is all we really need, not happiness necessarily, not excitement, not achievement, just this, basic contentment, basic peace, basic being okay. And you are okay, right now, in this moment, more than okay, perfect in your imperfection, complete in your incompleteness. The universe is also okay, has always been, will always be. Things happen, stars die, species go extinct, planets form and eventually are destroyed. But the universe continues, doesn't worry, doesn't mourn, just continues, just is. You can continue too, in your sleep, in your rest. In this infinite moment, there's nowhere to go, nothing to do, no one to be. Just this, just now, just the vast calm of existence happening without effort. Space holds you. Time holds you. Existence itself holds you. Not tightly, not possessively, just gently, the way water holds a floating object, supporting it, allowing it to be, asking nothing in return. Float in this holding, float in this infinite, float in this calm that has no edges, no ending, no need to be anything other than what it is, perfect, complete, eternal. Now, let go. If you're holding anything, any thought, any awareness, any thread of consciousness, let go. You don't need it, don't need to hold on. The universe will continue, your body will continue, sleep will hold you. Nothing is required from you. Three-Eye Atlas let go, surrendered to the sun's gravity, stopped traveling and started orbiting, stopped being a visitor, became a resident, surrendered its freedom for belonging, its endless journey for a home, not a conscious choice. Objects don't choose, but still, a surrender, a yielding, a letting the universe decide. You are surrendering now, have been for hours, but deeper now, more complete. The last threads of awareness fraying, dissolving, disappearing into the dark. This is safe. This is normal. This is what sleep is. Complete surrender to unconsciousness, to vulnerability, to the unknown that happens when awareness ceases. Every night you do this, trust that you'll wake. Trust that your body knows what to do. Trust the process, the ancient biological imperative to rest. Sleep is trust embodied. You trust you won't be hurt, won't be threatened, won't need to respond. So, you let go completely. In space, trust doesn't exist, nor mistrust. Objects just respond to forces, gravity pulls, they move, no choice, no trust, just physics, just the way things are. But there's something analogous, the way Three-Eye Atlas yielded to gravity, accepted its pull, didn't resist, just followed the natural path, the path of least resistance, the path that physics determined. You're on a path too, the path into sleep, into dreams, into the restoration that happens in darkness, the path your body knows, that your mind trusts, that requires nothing from your conscious self. Surrender is not defeat, is not weakness, is wisdom, knowing when to stop fighting, when to let the natural take over, when to trust what's larger than you. The ocean teaches this. Swimmers learn not to fight the current, to surrender to the water. Let it support you. Move with it. Trust it. Fighting exhausts you. Surrendering saves you. You have surrendered to sleep, are floating in its depths, moving with it, trusting it, and it is supporting you, restoring you, doing what needs doing while you do nothing. This is the deepest rest, when you are not there, not monitoring, not aware, not even minimally present, just gone, into the dark, into the nothing, into the place where consciousness isn't. Scientists can measure brain activity, can see that something is still happening. Neurons firing, patterns emerging, the brain still active. But you, the awareness, the sense of self, temporarily doesn't exist. Where do you go when consciousness ceases? No one knows, maybe nowhere. Maybe you just stop and start again in the morning, a new you, built from the same materials, same memories, but still new, reconstructed from the darkness. Or maybe some awareness continues, deep below, too deep to remember, too deep to recognize, some witnessing that persists, watching dreams, noting sensations, but so quiet, so subtle, it might as well not exist. Doesn't matter, either way, you are resting deeply, completely. The body is doing its work, healing, consolidating, cleaning, restoring, without needing your permission, without needing your awareness.